I don't believe you until I see myself on the screen. So I keep on dancing. Hey! All right. Hello, weirdos and malafolks. How y'all doing today? I am Doug, also known as Guslado, Top Doug Design, all of these things, and none of them, or no, I am all the things. So all of the stuff. How's everyone doing today? I am here today to, I guess, wrap things up. It's been a crazy, fun couple of years here, doing some streaming with y'all. And we're going to, go with one of my favorite new models from the new Masters from Madness and Malifaux. We're going to be doing Marathine, which I'm very excited for. And I am going to try to do some non-metallic metal here. I know, it's getting crazy up in here. I assure you, I am not, in fact, Haunted Miniatures doing non-metallic metal live on stream. I'm actually me, but I'm going to try some non-metallic metal because I think, Marathine's cool enough that it deserves to go for that. So, yeah, let's dive in. I think what I'm going to start out with first is the black blood swirl here. And start hitting that with some black. And what I'm probably going to end up doing with that is I'm going to be, if you've watched me stream before, you know that I like to do black stuff. I like to highlight it up with a very deep aqua. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to go with a very deep aqua, kind of maybe go 50-50. Oh, I didn't grab any paper towels. Good job, Doug. Ha-ha! It's like I've never done this before. Let's grab some paper towels and get this party started. Okay. So there we go. Just grabbing a little bit of that. And then grabbing a lot bit of that's chunky. Stab my paints. Because that's what I do. Ooh, that black is chunky. That is a chunky black right there. There we go. A lot of black. A little bit of turquoise, deep turquoise there. And then add a bunch of medium. And get that going. All right, let's see. There that brush is. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Oh, I just noticed something play weird on the screen. You've got Haunted's information on the screen. I'm, in fact, not haunted. I am me. I am Doug. These things happen. A little more turquoise in that. Let's get a little bit more. Oh, that is. Forget how strong that black ends up being with this. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There it goes. Hey, it's me now! Ha ha! Hooray! I was going to grab a swig of my water. I'm going to start slapping some paint on this guy. And by guy, I mean the swirl of black blood on here. Because, yay, fun. Yeah, how's everybody been doing? Seems like it's been a pretty crazy week over with Weird as the Vagrant Song Kickstarter running. I have not had a chance to look at that today. How's the numbers looking for the Kickstarter right now? Painting glasses on. That's why it seems so far away. Haha. Wow, that's awesome. I know I backed. Go back day one. Might have been day two. Probably day one. But yeah, so those of you at home who did not know, there is a great Kickstarter going on that Weird is running for the board game Vagrant Song, which is a really cool, fun board game. Ooh, poker deck add-on. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I've been a little bit busy this week, so I haven't really taken a close look at what's going on with it the last few days. So I figured, hey, I backed it. I'll get, I can read the updates later. I did see the, I didn't look too deeply into it. It looked like in Walda's Weekly, y'all had a post of some 3D models of the Vagrants, which that looked pretty cool. One thing that very much amused me, could tell that Kyle was, making some fun decisions on it there. So Kyle, lead design on it there. He is a big music fan, and him and I, when we see each other at Gen Con and various other things, we chat music. And one of the last bands he recommended to me was Amigo the Devil. And there's that, and then I saw that that character in the Vagrant Song thing. Oh, I couldn't help but chuckle and go, oh, Kyle. Which that's pretty cool. I told him, he's just trying to. I think he's just trying to meet that artist. All a grand scheme. Yeah, super exciting. Been kind of crazy how much great press and notice Vagrant Song has been getting. And not that it's not deserved or anything, but you know how it is. Just sometimes, you got smaller companies, which, Weird is smaller than many of the big boy board gaming companies out there. They are not Asmodee. But getting such great, consistently great, awesome reviews just makes me happy. It's some well-deserved notice. Because, I know last year at Gen Con, Vagrant Song kept selling out within like 10 minutes of the open, which was absolutely nuts. Going in, I didn't realize that it was going to be, one of those crazy hot games, which is always cool. I always enjoy seeing cool, awesome things get good public review. Because the things I enjoy are not always the things the public enjoys. But yeah. So lots of fun craziness going on. In my world, the fun craziness is getting ready for the Lone Star Foedown, Malifaux GT. Yeah. So this is super cool. So this is our second year running this, and we have somehow become the largest Malifaux event in North America, which is super cool. We're doing a 6-round tournament. I don't know anyone else in the U.S. who's been the last time there was a 6-round tournament anywhere, which is super cool. So yeah, so it's happening October 13th through the 15th here in Houston, Texas. Don't worry, it'll cool down by then. By the time that rolls around, the y'all up north will be tired of pumpkins and fall weather, and you can come down here and get, slightly less pumpkin fall weather. I, for one, love the fall. But we're slightly delayed on it from everyone else up north, from what I, grew up with. Because I grew up in Michigan. Yeah, so the Foedown, it's super cool. We've got awesome prize support rolling in now. Working on getting everything all ready and geared up. I've been doing a bunch of terrain prep to expand the number of tables we have, because I had to expand how many I had a lot of tables, but did not have quite as many as I needed to accommodate the about 50 players we have right now. So, making more tables. Always making more terrain. Because I love making terrain. Spent most of the morning airbrushing a bunch of terrain. Still have more to do. Always more to do. It's one of those things where I could keep going with it up until the day of. I'm going to try to get it done well before then. But yeah, it's also cool. So we got a lot of the, your favorite content creators, other than me, From around the country coming, we've got guys from Danger Planet coming. We got Boring Conversation. Who else do we have? Defective Dice, I think. Yeah, I think, yeah, Defective Dice. We got a Steam Powered Scoundrel coming now. Hey, Haunted, how you doing, my man? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, we're just chatting here about the, Hey, moo to you as well, Caterin Llama. Wait, do llamas moo? What noise do llamas make? Like, I legitimately do not know this. Yeah, I'm doing well. They don't moo? Well, that's good to know. What noise do llamas make? Humming? Some kind of a honk. Oh, okay. I'm glad to, you know what? That makes me happy that you just knew that right away. Big nasal cavity. Sounds like a soft little duck. But what kind of duck? So, I mean, it'd be awesome if it sounded like a whistling duck. Because here's one of my favorite things is that whistling ducks actually whistle. And why do I know this? And I know this entirely because I've been playing a lot of Wingspan lately with some friends. It's a delightful game. I'm going to say this. I think one of my favorite things. Is that like the sound of, is that a good llama impression? So I'm going to say, I think one of my favorite things about the game Wingspan, which ends up, I mean, it's actually a super chill game. But every single bird card has got bird effects on it. Well, if it got you laughing really loud out loud, then I have done my purpose. My work here is complete. And now I shall return to my people. All right. Be Haunted, I'm doing well. You know, keeping busy, getting ready for the Lone Star Fodown, Malifaux GT. It's going to be super awesome. You got around 50 people registered right now. Which is kind of crazy. You know, when I started planning for this year, I went in, you know, saying they were aiming for 40. And when we actually hit that, I'm like, what? And then we kept getting more and more and more. And it's kind of cool. Was not quite expecting it. But I'm very, very excited. And I was chatting with Play Weird earlier there about I made a custom Fate deck with Weird's permission, of course, to use as a promo to get people to sign up earlier for the Lone Star Foedown. Because one of the big things is when it comes to planning an event, it's tough to plan when people sign up late. And in my experience, Malifaux players love to sign up for events late. Always happens with LVO. Happened with the Foedown last year. So I was trying to come up with a way to get people to sign up earlier. And the Fate deck turned out so... okay, backtrack a bit. So I'm like, oh, well, I wanted to do, a Fate deck. And I'm like, well, because, if I do a Fate deck, I can't sell it because it is licensed IP from, or not licensed, but, approved IP from Weird. And, because, can't sell. But I figured, if I use it as a promo to get people to sign up earlier, boom. Yes, Malifaux players love Fate decks. So if you're tuning in and you don't know a lot about Malifaux, we use Fate decks to play instead for when we're doing random number generation instead of rolling dice. Dice are evil. Your dice will betray you and kill you. And Malifaux players, Fate decks are to Malifaux players. And it is a standard deck of playing cards, just with different suits. But decks are to Malifaux players as dice are to players of literally any game that uses dice. We love to collect them. We only need one per person per game. But I know for a fact that I have at least 4 Fate decks in my... I got at least 4 Fate decks in my normal Malifaux bag. And then in just the stuff that I take with me when I'm making sure I'm bringing extra stuff for other players, I've got at least 5 or 6 more Fate decks in there. And so I decided to, hey, you know what? We had a good turnout for the Foedown last year. And if we can increase it to just, I don't remember what my exact calculations were. But I looked into how much it costs to get, Fate decks printed. And like if we can just get to this number, it won't be prohibitively expensive. And so I'm like, you know what? I think we can do that. And so, yeah, I went ahead and said, hey, you know what? If you register early, you get this Fate deck. And so I did the artwork for the Fate deck, which convenient that I have to, Yeah, because that honestly is a pain for the artwork, is a major part of getting a deck done. But because I was the one who made the artwork, the only thing it cost me was my time. Hooray! Yeah. Well, okay. So the back of the fake deck, the logo. So we've got the logo for the Lone Star Throwdown, which is this, adorable little cartoon gremlin guy, wearing a big cowboy hat and got a big old Texas belt buckle. Yeah. That was done by my good buddy, Chris Hirschberger. He artist is you can find him as a Dwarven Palette wherever you buy fine art, fine and fantasy arts. Really great, really talented artist. We've been do work with him occasionally for the last few years. And so he did the artwork for that. But the back of the faces of the cards, I did those. And it's got this really cool, at least I think it's cool, stained glass look to it. So yeah, so that's super exciting. And those showed up last week. And yeah, anytime you get something like that printed, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking because, well, I've used the printer before. I hadn't done it quite the quantity that I had to do it this time with. I'd gotten Bonanza Brawl decks printed for Las Vegas Open before. And, they did a nice job with that. But there's a difference between, like enough decks for a 50-person tournament and, getting like 2 or 3 decks printed for a one-off thing. And that was just getting the Bonanza Brawl deck. This was, a full custom thing that I actually designed this time. And yeah, so when it actually showed up, the colors just really, really pop. And it's got a really nice feel in your hands. Shuffles like a dream. Ooh, I want ramen. Oh yeah, what? So when I got to send some of those decks to over to Weird. I got to ship those out. I'm about to head out of town for the weekend, so I'll be shipping those out when I get back. It's been so busy this week. You have to check them out. They look so good in person. Really, I went with a linen finish on them, and so glad I did because it really, really gives it a good feel. Shuffles like a dream, and feels like it'll stand up to usage, even if you don't sleeve it. Because I know some people love card sleeves, other people are not big card sleevers. I don't tend to sleeve things. Well, so we already have it scheduled for the next one next year. It's going to be the second weekend of October again. Basically, because I saw, once I knew how big it was going to be this year, chatted with the owner of the store again and made sure that we were good to do it at the same time again next year. Because I figured then I'd be able to say, hey, during the event, tell the players, yeah, come back again next year. And I am hoping to be able to do a new Fate deck again next year, because I just had a really fun time designing that. Already got ideas. Nothing totally fleshed out yet, but you know, ideas kicking around up in the noodle. Yep. Avoid scheduling car troubles for the second weekend leading up to the second weekend of October. But we got some really awesome players coming. Huge group of people. I know we've got big group of people coming out from the Pacific Northwest. At least like 8 of them, possibly more. I gotta do another count on the states everyone is coming from. But Ambrose from out in the Pacific Northwest has really gathered a group to come on down. They're very, very excited. Which I'm psyched that they're coming too, because back in April, I went up to the Pacific Northwest for the it was the Railroad Avenue Rumble was the name of the event that Ambrose put together, and that was a ton of fun. I had a blast. Definitely hoping to go again next year. Just waiting to find out when it is, because the area was lovely and the community up there was fantastic. And it had been a while since I'd been up to the Pacific Northwest. But the Pacific Northwest agrees with me, weather-wise and vibe. Kind of reminds me, feels a little bit like combining Chicago and Scotland. Colder than Houston. I mean, I was up there in April, and it was nice. It was kind of the I needed to wear wearing jeans and a t-shirt, wear a sweatshirt in the evening. Which is honestly kind of my ideal weather. Where you don't need a sweatshirt during the day, but you do in the evening. That's what I like. But yeah, I am Excited for the foe down. It's going to be awesome. It's really, working on getting last of things ready. I mean, most everything's, lined up and ready to go. But what I'm working on right now, so when I do events, so anyone who's come to Gen Con or LVO or any of our local Texas tournaments, so I provided the terrain for Gen Con the last few years. And so something I do is I make these pre-made maps where then you can, all the terrain is on there and defined. So, speeds up the start of the game because then you don't have to go and define all the terrain with your opponent because it's already defined for you. So I've got to finish up making the last couple of those maps because I got a few new maps, making some new terrain. Got some cool hazardous stuff that I'm adding to some of the boards there, which will be awesome. Doing some, cactus, cactus areas, and also some giant, giant carnivorous plants. That's fun. Everyone loves a giant Venus flytrap. You see, now that I said it live here, I actually have to get it finished. Motivation to actually finish that up. Because definitely something that I had started on a while ago and then, got busy with other projects. But I mentioned it here, so it means I have to do it now. Because if I don't have it, someone will say, hey, you were talking about this on the stream, and you don't have it, and now I am disappointed. Worst TO ever. And then I'll be sad. Because I want everyone at the event to have an absolute blast. Obviously, not everyone can win. Because if everyone won every game, every single game would be a tie. And then that would be really, really awkward. Because I don't have enough trophies to give everyone the first place trophy. Yeah, they're mowing the lawn right outside my house right now, which is so delightful to hear while I'm streaming with you all. All right, I think that's looking good. I think I'm going to start hitting those Nephilim dudes with some color. Yeah, actually, oh, stay. So I think what I need to do a little bit of is actually, I'm going to hit the sword with a little bit very thin down black there to kind of start getting the colors going on that. And so Haunted will appreciate this. I am trying out doing some non-metallic metal here. Now, I mean, I've done it before, I just don't do it all that often, and I'm not always super confident in it. But the feel like the artwork for it kind of helps to establish some really good looks as to where to add the how the guide for what to make it look like. Yeah. I mean, I've done it before. Like I did on my Malisaurus. But this, it features far more prominently. So I'm just, kind of putting in a few more of those shadows, getting a few more shadows established here before I really start pushing for that. I'm using the black speed paint to kind of just let it flow into just really the recesses and kind of filter the whole thing. Then I'll go back and start hitting a little bit more. But I've got the artwork as a source image to kind of go, hey, that's where everything goes. Going to vary from the artwork a little bit. Then I want to change up some of the colors on it here. Obviously, I like the look of silver metal for a sword. But for the ramp, I'm going to change up the color a little bit. Good, nice kind of reddish, maybe deep red leather. I might do a green gem on the thing there because it's red in the artwork. So I'm going to go with green because I think that seems like fun. Which, let's see. Yep, there we go. I'll just start laying in some of this on there. Grab my greens. These are greens I want there. Ooh, are you the greens I want? Ooh, yeah, you're on. Nice rich green. Those ones are... No, those ones will work. Alrighty. Gotta stab it. Stab the paint. Time to stab my paint. There we go. Yeah, I think a green gemstone's going to be nice for that there. There we go. Just got that started. And now it's time for the peoples, these guys. And let's figure out... So, Castor kind of did that gray blue look with the pinkish wings. Yeah, I do like that. Go with the kind of the grayish blue. Maybe a little bit richer. Let's grab him. Over here. Need a little deeper blue than that. So you put some gray. There we go. The blue blues. There you are. Hello, blue blues. And the gray blues. Got kind of funky there. Let's try that. Something like that is kind of the blue color I'm looking for. Probably get a little bit darker there. Yeah, that's a better blue. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's get the medium in there. Right. That is not the color I'm looking for at all there. What color do I have? Barbaros. You know what? Let's double check that. Let's double check Barbaros. Let's look at it next. There you are. Hello, Barbaros. Oh, I want purple skin for him. You know what? I think I need to go with purple for these guys. I was painted this guy a while back, but yeah, I could look at purple Nephilim. All right. Forget the blue guy. Going purple. Woo! There we go. A little bit of Pro Acryl Purple. Get a little bit more bush in the artwork. Going with more, I like the look of purplish Nephilim. Oh, it was really cool yesterday. So Vyric yesterday was sharing some. He was showing us some models he's been painting up. That he's doing some green looking Nephilim, which look really good. Kind of a cool alt look for him. I have not seen someone do Nephilim in green. And yeah, he's got these Nephilim he's working on. We're kind of a look kind of almost animated like, so kind of cartoonish, but not in a bad way. I mean, like it's the look he was going for, very much the look he was going for. Furyk, hey, what is up? How are you doing, sir? Just here, chilling, chatting, talking painting and Nephilim and Lone Star Down. Yep. That's delightful. Use that for if I'm using the speed paints and whatnot. I've also got down here my wet palette. So super thin, stuff the speed paints and washes. Normal paints on here. But yeah, we were just talking, Lone Star Down and how I've been spending a lot of time getting stuff ready for that. I want my players to have the best possible experience. You included, sir. Woohoo! I was very, very excited when I saw that you had signed up. Well, you know what? We're just going to say no. Last minute interruptions are not allowed. Those people need to, get their priorities straight and say, hey, you know what? I'm letting Furyk go to the Lone Star Down because it's awesome. And it's going to be fun for everybody. And yeah, your buddy who lives down here, Jacob, was like, was super excited when he found out that you're coming. So yeah, it's going to be a great time. So good. Yeah, he's been really enjoying it. It's nice that he's getting out and playing. He's really making it a point to try to come out pretty much since he started coming back. He's made it almost every single week. I mean, there was that one time where I suppose it's okay because he had to go out and get married or something. I know, craziness. Yeah, like I chatted with him about it a bunch. Apparently, like the one time he tried coming out to the store before he started coming back regularly this time, apparently was like one of the like couple rare weeks a year where I was not there to say, hey, let's get a game in. And so he didn't find the Malfa community right away. And so then, didn't come out again for a while. And I didn't know that. It made me very sad to find out that he had tried coming out and then that I had not been able to be there for it. But now he's coming on the regular, which is awesome. Shaking off that rust. We got a very solid group of guys come out and play most every Thursday. The group has been a little bit, smaller the last couple of weeks than normal because school just started. And so we got kids who have got, school. Also, I think we got like 3 or 4 of our regular players are teachers. So they've been busy. But it, picks up once, they kind of get into the swing of school things. And then obviously they will be coming to the Fodown. One of the things that I'm super excited for, it's silly and delightful. So super excited for the Fodown is for Bonanza Brawl, which, I love Bonanza Brawl. It is one of my favorite alternate formats just because it is so full of shenanigans. And I love to really lean into the shenanigans with it. So this year, what we're doing, we're actually doing the brawl. We're heading out of the game room and over into the tavern. Because Dragon's Lair's got a tavern. It's awesome. Good food. Really, really good beer selection. Great Texas beer selection. Oh, yeah. I was chatting with Scoundrels Doug at Gen Con about that a little bit. And I'm excited to see what y'all come up with. But so we're going to be doing the Bonanza Brawl in the tavern. And so because the guys from Danger Planet are going to be there, so Brandon and Doug, not the Doug I just mentioned, there's another. There's far too many Dougs in Malifaux now. Apparently, there's like 3 or 4 of us now. But so the Danger Planet guys, when they go to events, they have made it he's Doug B number 3. The Danger Planet guys have made it a tradition with them that they go to find a karaoke bar when they go to an event. Like they did it at Gen Con, they do it at Captain Con, I think they did it at Nova. Well, Dragon's Lair does karaoke normally once a week. So I chatted with the staff members who run karaoke and got them so they were to do it on the Saturday night of the Fodown while we're doing Bonanza Brawl. So it's Bonanza Brawl karaoke. Because I think that will be the best possible way to, have maximum fun and shenanigans. Oh, I hope so. Now, anyone who's not able to make it up to the Fodown, We are during the day. We're going to be streaming. Heroic Scale Gamers is going to be streaming on their YouTube channel. Which, and we've got links to that on the Fodown page there. And then Dragon's Lair themselves is also going to be streaming, but I don't know where they're streaming that to yet. I got to chat with Rob from Dragon's Lair about so I can get, put links out there so that people at home can tune in. So the plan is to actually have 3 of the tables from the Fodown streaming during the event. Should be really, really cool. And then the other cool thing is that I'm building with a buddy of mine some basically table toppers, so slightly larger than 3x3 little table topper, where then we can have a table set up, and map a terrain all set up, and then swap them in and out between the streaming tables. Because, one thing with Malifaux is that no one likes to play on the same table more than once. Because, the terrain is different for everything. We're not one of those games where there is a standardized map for every single table. So, by having tabletop maps that I can swap for the streaming table, it allows us to actually have some of those tables as quote-unquote top tables, because that's what a lot of people really want to see. The players who are kind of the top level players, those who are leading the standings of the tournament, and they want to see them on the stream tables. But if, during a normal tournament, because we've only got, the one table there, it can't be, hey, you know what? You never know. Or it might, first round, going into it, everyone is tied. So you are playing on the top table first round. But yeah, so I figure the ones that are the heck yeah, the ones that are on Heroic Scale Gamers are going to be the ones that I'm streaming as having as a top table, which would be nice, so people can tune in and see some, the high level Malifaux players duke it out. And I'll shuffle it around and stuff so that it's not, the same person every single round. But, with 3 tables, we're able to do that. I'm just going to stretch for a moment here. But I'm going to say this, Furyk. To this day, one of my all-time favorite games of Malifaux I have ever played was our game that we played at Gen Con. That was an absolutely ridiculous game. Absolutely ridiculous game. Who plays an 8-8 tie? I don't think I've ever seen anyone else get that score. And I just had an absolute blast that entire game. So that is, when people ask me what was my favorite game of Malifaux ever, that is, I think, my favorite. In the 10 years I've been playing Malifaux, that is my favorite game that I ever played. Because that game was ridiculous and fun. And let's be honest, it's not like we weren't trying, because that was still a competitive game. We were both really trying. It just things were not happening. So that was when I was running my Jurassic Park list. So Titania 1, this was before titles were released. So Titania 1 with Marcus as a second master and the Malosaurus Rex, because mutated dinosaur, versus Zoraida. And so in this game, the Malosaurus and the Juju, they went and had their big kaiju fight in the middle of the board. And just nothing, like they're just wailing on each other. And neither one is dying. So then the Malosaurus is like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going after Zoraida. So runs over and starts going after Zoraida. Zoraida shuts that down. At which point Zoraida says, oh, hey, you, go. I'm going to, ensorcel you to go run off to the corner because you're wearing wings. So you go really fast and go attack that Bandersnatch over there in the corner. Which is like, okay, roar, runs over there, goes, takes a big swing on the Bandersnatch. At which point then he's like, roar! And then he, last moment, he has a moment of clarity, I suppose. And Black Joker's the damage on the Bandersnatch. Now, Titania was none too thrilled about this turn of events. She's like, hey, now, what do you think you're doing there, young Miss Zoraida? Because, Titania's older than Zoraida. She's like, what do you think you're doing, young miss? And then goes and starts swinging on, not swinging, but using her range stuff on Zoraida, and goes, oh, wait a minute. That whole thought of like, hey, don't go after Zoraida. She's hard to kill. No. Her trigger that just shuts down your activation, it's only on melee attacks. And so Titania's like, oh, yeah, you go down really, really fast if you're not, getting hit with melee attacks. She's like, hitting her hard. She's like, oh, I'm running away. Then next turn, Titania's like, hey, bam. And then Zoraida dies. And like, oh, well, what do I do with the rest of this AP? But that, had I realized that sooner, could have been a very different game. No clue if it would have. But now I know I need to fear Zoraida a little bit less. Only fear Zoraida with melee stuff. Or if it's stuff where I'm like, oh, right, I got, a low willpower model that she's going to go and obey. Because then it's like, oh, yeah, I don't want to send those heavy hitters in my own models. But I've gotten a few more reps actually playing Zoraida now. So I understand her strengths and weaknesses a little bit more. So that's always fun. Then going, oh, that would have been a smarter thing to do. But however you slice it, that was a joyfully ridiculous game. So at Captain Con, I ran a list that, quite frankly, was very similar to the similar in spirit to the Titania and Marcus list, in that it was Zoraida and Marcus with this Bond mother. And that list was absolutely ridiculous and tons of fun to play. Because I love the model for the Spawn Mother. Unfortunately, that model it does not see a lot of play on the table. Because it hits below its weight class most of the time. It's not, you're not getting your stone's worth out of the Spawn Mommy. Exactly. The hilarious thing with that crew is that meant my entire crew, except for Zoraida, had stealth. So, because Marcus gives out the natural camouflage. And so, let's see, that's what I need. So let's hit those. Let's hit their horns next. But yeah, so let's see what I would bring. Marcus, so Zoraida, Spawn Mother, Marcus, and then some gators. Because then, now hear me out, you can have flying alligators. Oh yeah, so the list I did with Marcus and Spawn Mother, the only model in the crew that did not have stealth was Zoraida. Because Marcus gives out the I have not. I don't really play a lot of video games. But so let's see, so Spawn Mother, some gators. I like to bring a Will-o'-the-Wisp, because Will-o'-the-Wisp is delightful with Zoraida in that it's great for, with its lure. I tend to use its lure on my own models to tow my, tow my masters around so that they, you know, my master does not have to walk like a peasant. I mean, everyone knows that, you know, walking with your master, oh, what are you? Some kind of lowly peasant? Why would you walk with your master? To be fair, it always does feel like a little bit of a waste if my master has to take a walk action. Fair, well, but she does the walk and goes, pitch cards, hey, friend walk. So that's a little bit different. But I didn't have Z2 at that point. Let's take a look at you. She's blue hair for you. Nice deep blue. Okay. But so I like the Will-O-Wisp with Zoraida. Because, like I said, you can, you know, move your own models around with its lure. But then I also love it when you get the Voodoo Doll out there. Because the Will-O-Wisp's attack does no damage. So the Will-O-Wisp will go, hey, oh, Voodoo Doll. Bam! And he gives out distracted and stunned. And so, which normally, you know, if you're attacking your own Voodoo Doll, there's only so many attacks you can get on that Voodoo Doll before, you know, you end up killing it off. And then, you know, the link is broken. But if you can just go, hey, you there. Take this unresisted, stunned and slow. I mean, stunned and distracted. And I think there's also a trigger on it to give slow. Yeah. So stunned, distracted, and slow? Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Completely unresisted. I mean, yeah, you have to get the, you know, the Voodoo Doll to pop out. They got to be in range of the Voodoo Doll. It is a spicy hot take. The other fun thing is that, so the its engagement, it's a 2-inch engagement range, which I love. I love things with 2-inch engagement ranges because it's so useful to, you know, lock something down. And it's this tiny little model most people don't worry about because it's like, oh, yeah, the Will-O-Wisp, whatever. It's not going to do much. And it's like, ha, 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 I'm just going to be a pain in your butt. I know. Yeah, I mean, if they give it any dedicated look, yeah, that thing goes down fast. But I have Marcus put natural camouflage on it. So now that little will-o'-the-wisp now has camouflaged and disguised. So you can't target it from more than 6 inches away. And you can't target it with actions generated by charges. So it is a quite amusing to have that will-o'-the-wisp who's like, yeah, you can't get me. I'm here being annoying, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's quite spicy. So having that with Marcus is kind of hilariously awesome. It's a nice, fun little thing to have there. And with the Spawn Mother, Marcus gets to give her some lovely little upgrades, which ends up making her a little bit more survivable, makes her hit a little bit harder, which is delightful because she's like what 246, I think, is her damage spread. Maybe 236. Like her, she's got a not great week. And while I love the concept of gups, they tend to not end up doing much for me. And to be fair, she always loves to flip poorly when it comes time to hatch the gups or lay her eggs. But with Marcus, what I do is I get her to do a bunch of stuff outside of her activation. And then I have the armored plates on her. So she's in position and goes, hey, I don't have to move on my turn. So, boom, shielded. Makes her a lot more survivable. So I finally able to actually get her into that position where it's like, hey, you killing off my Swamp Fiend friends? Sweet. Extra charges. hook her up with a serrated teeth and claws. Wait, no. Is that the one? Or formidable horns. You hook her up with formidable horns, and then she gets all those. Plus flips on damage when she's charging. Haha! Spicy! It's silly. It's shenanigansy. But I think it's delightful. And so I got to figure out what all other Neverborn Masters have beasts in their keyword that Marcus normally isn't able to get. I know that, let's see. You can get the, what is it? The Dead Wendigo thing. Oh, no, the Explorer Society thing. I can't remember what it's called. The Damned. Yes, The Damned. So I gotta, I haven't taken that close of a look at The Damned, but I feel like I need to try some Euripides and Marcus at some point, because that could be interesting. Let's see what other. So there's okay, Nakima. Nakima, you could then have the I mean, Corrupted Hounds they're already just in Neverborn, so technically Marcus could just get them anyways. But I'm trying to think of any other keyword. So out of faction, keyword beasts that Marcus could get by way of dual mastery. So obviously, the big one is the Manosaurus, or any of the weird, crazy swamp fiend stuffs like gators and Spawn Mother. We've got the Damned. I'm trying to think of what other beasts there are that Marcus can only gain access to by being a second master. Because quite frankly, I need to try all these combos. Because shenanigans. And I am all for maximum shenanigans. Alrighty. Looking all right. Let's see, what was the next one? So I did Red Monkey. What's the next one? Probably Valley Girl Pink or Kiss. No, probably Valley Girl Pink. Yeah, that's what I wanted. My microphone's pointed funkily. Let's see, where'd you go? So now a fun alternate game mode that I've talked about with some of my locals that I want to try out at some point. I've just never had a chance to. Feel the need to test it out. Kicked around the idea. We've called it Evil Twins. Where after you have selected your leader, you are required to hire their other version as a second master in your crew. So, like, if you went said, "Hey, I'm hiring Marcus 1 as my leader," well, then Barcus would have to be a second master that you hired. This would be ridiculously broken and shenanigansy. And that is the point. Yeah. So it's you just decide which one you want as your leader, but then you are required to hire the other one as a second master. I don't know. We have not worked out all the details on it yet. Like we have not tried this at all yet. But we just thought it would be fun to have both versions of a master on a table at once. And we kind of picture kind of like a henchman hardcore or like a double rush kind of thing, where you go into this knowing that you're gonna have some weird, funky, ridiculously broken combos, and that's the point. You got to give it a go. You have not tried it out yet. but I think it's got some fun potential. Still got to apply. I've still got to try it. I already know that, like, oh, if I were playing Marcus, I would hire Marcus 1 as the leader, and then because that gives me a better hiring pool. And then I would hire Barkus as the second master. But I mean, because obviously the game is not designed to be played this way. So there would definitely be some strange interactions. Just like there's some, strange interactions if you play Double Rush or Henchman Hardcore. And you find those rules questions and you come up with an answer for them once you figure it out. And so we must try this. Have not had a chance to yet. But I think there'll be something fun to try out during, just open play sometime. Perhaps before the Lone Star Throwdown, because we got open play on Friday. Yay! Open play on Friday, and then Henchman Hardcore in the evening. But yeah, I'm excited for the Throwdown. Got to take a look at my list again and see how many different states we have represented. So obviously we got Texas, we got Washington, we've got Puerto Rico, which is cool. We got guys coming from, I think, both Alberta and British Columbia. I'm not sure about Alberta, but we definitely have British Columbia. I think Alberta as well. That'll be cool. You know, we are international. And then, so we got that. We got Kansas. We got Michigan. We got Illinois. Indiana there. Where else we got? We got Maryland. Yeah, we got a bunch of the East Coast guys. Because we got, you know, Owen and Jesse and the Danger Planet guys. Not sure where Jim Dyson lives. No, wait, let's go with the so I've done Harlot Red, I've done Valley Girl Pink. Which one's the next one up? Monkey Ball or, you know, let's go with Bubblegum. That might be a little bit right. Let's try the Monkey Ball Pink. That was a little bit separated there. There we go. That's the pink I'm looking for. Okay. There we go. Please over there. All right. a really cool model. So it kind of reminds me of like almost like a Rodin statue with the kind of the lines and the move. It got kind of a expressionist thing going on with the way the blood swirl is and the these Nephilim dudes in it are honestly a very artistic, sculptorly sculpt. And I really enjoy this one. Like parts of it remind me of the sculpture from Rodin called the Gates of Hell. Very much there's definitely models on there that kind of goes thing going on like these Nephilim dudes here. And so this really reminds me of that. I like how the pink bits in these wings are turning out. It's tiny and subtle, but you know what? This model is just such a cool model. I gotta do it justice. It's a funky, cool model. All right. think it's time to do a little bit of, let's see, let's do a little bit on their hair there. Hair and then their skin. Alrighty. Let's put a little more deeper blue in this one. There we go. That's starting to richen that guy's blue hair up a little bit there. Yeah, it's on. I mean, this looks like a sculpture, not just oh, it's a little totem. For being a totem, this is one of the cooler totem sculpts that's out there. Not you, brush. That's probably you then. Yep, there you are. It's mixing my paints. Just gonna swirly, 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 swirly the purples together. Get that mid-tone at half and half. There we go. Did I overthink you? Might overthink you. No, I'm good. All righty. There we go. Put a little more pure purple down there. There we go. All righty. You are wonderful, little Mr. Marathine. I've gotten cast over the table a few times, and I gotta say, lots and lots of fun to play. Still getting my head wrapped around some of the finer points with him. But he is definitely a lot. He's a lot of fun. I think Castor 2 fits my general play style a little bit better. But I've only gotten Castor 1 to the table maybe twice, so still kind of getting figured out what exactly he does. Seems surprisingly schemy. Which is cool because we don't really have a lot of that in Neverborn does not have a lot of the, hey, this is a really innately schemy master. Clean up the parts of the wing there. I overpainted on a little bit. So reestablish some of that dark there between the pink and the purple. Go. Fun model. A lot of really cool little details on this guy. Because if you remember, this model, all it is, the model itself is that sword right there. That is the character here. It's a living sword. Which is definitely a really cool set of rules. That is a model that cannot take damage and cannot die. Which is definitely a kind of interesting rule set. Now, got to be careful with it against crews that do a lot of blast damage, because you do not want to be near your own models then. It's got really low defenses because it doesn't care about taking some damage. But it loves to be right in the thick of your enemies. I'm excited to get Castor to the table more often now. Because now that I got him painted, I kind of want to put him on the table. Still figuring out what else, he really likes to run with. Like I definitely think the blood vessels are something that I really, really need. Sorry, the urn bearers. Blood vessels, I have not seen a lot. I've got them on the table. They just haven't done a lot for me. I feel like there must be either they just don't fit with what I'm doing, or I'm totally missing something and didn't finish reading the card all the way. Because that totally happens. Like, I didn't understand Zoraida 2 at all until I realized that, oh, off the path, when you discard those cards, you also draw cards. Did not realize that when I first read it. It's a rather important part that I missed. It's like, man, she's really card intensive. Oh, no, no, no. You just get all your cards back. And that's why you read the entire action. I've also been getting Turi to the table for some games lately. And that's lots of fun. Tiri definitely has got, Tiri 1 definitely has got a lot of juice. Tiri 2, I haven't gotten to the table yet. Funny thing is, between the two of them, I really like the concept of Tiri 2 a little bit more. Oh, hey, I make all these cool special markers. But the card draw in Tiri 1 is so good. So much card draw. I feel like I end almost every turn with her with a full hand. Alrighty. Ooh, let's stretch a little bit there. Yeah. This is a fun model. I'm really digging. I just love the movement and the forms on it. Very dynamic. That's one of the reasons I love painting weird miniatures. These are generally some of the more dynamic miniatures I've ever painted. Definitely a dynamic model amongst dynamic models. Some water. There we go. I'm trying to get most everything on this finished up before going in and really trying to do the non-metallic metal. Because I don't want to, get the non-metallic metal looking great and then mess it up. Go, little buddy. Ooh, oh, I got paper towels stuck to me. Yeah, I'm looking at these, and these Nephilim are much more human-looking Nephilim than most of the other Nephilim in the game. Which I think is why it's giving me the very much the Rodan vibes on this there. That nice kind of red hand wrap thing going on there. Give it a nice red leather look to it there. I think I'll really pop with it there. Yeah. I guess we got to do the purple on this guy, and then we're going to maybe clean up the black blood splatters, and then, yeah. And then it's time for, I think it's got, I mean, it's kind of establishing some vaguely non-metallic metal looks to it already. So I think I'll be able to actually get that in there pretty well. Of course, then at some point I got to actually get around to basing all of my returned keyword models. So I'm planning on doing some sculpts for those, where I'm going to do, again, kind of overgrown ruins. Thinking kind of Mesoamerican overgrown ruins. I think with since Barbaros has got that Makwahutiel, I think I've always kind of had kind of a Mesoamerican feel when I think about the Nephilim. And I think Barbaros was like the first Nephilim model I ever painted. So, and that was back in 2nd edition. So I'd bring him in Henchman Hardcore games. too much of that. There we go. Alrighty, what are we doing? But yeah, I dig how this model plays on the table. It's going to play even better now because he's paid it. Woohoo! In case you didn't know, painted models always play better. Because them is the rules. In case no one told you. And I don't make those rules. That's just the rules of the universe, man. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Yeah. I dig this model. A really cool model. Alrighty. Okay, this guy's coming really nicely. All right. There we go. I'm going to add a little more definition and glow to the crystal here. All right, that's good. A little bit more right there. I really want to pick out the let's need some stabbing ends. There we go. There we go. Let's really pick out that some of the edges on this. There we go. Give it that nice contrasty stuff there. Alrighty. Let's get some gray on that spot right there. I think it's about time to really start hitting some of the non-metallic metal stuff here. Yes, we're down to the final 15 minutes here, but it's kind of that I didn't want to be doing non-metallic metal. I had the rest of the model still to do, and then mess it up. I also feel like I got it pretty well established. A lot of it in here. really going for just a subtle non-metallic metal. I'm just going to where's my, there it is. I just need to hit that gem with one little bit brighter there. Let's hit it with the neon green for a little bit right there. That nice. That makes it kind of pop. Love it. Okay, let's come back with a little bit of white in there. Get that gleam, but yeah. Where'd I put my white? There you are. Hello, white. And I like to use the white ink because it just kind of ends up working together with stuff. Like it's good for like mixing white into things. And it goes on really smooth. To mix a little bit of that white ink in with my neon green paint there. Yeah, I dig it. All right. So it's time to start hitting some of the really crisp highlights on the metal there. Not being too crazy specific with the non-metallic metal look with this. I'm being kind of a almost fake it in a little bit. Not thinking too much about the light source. Kind of hitting it, yeah, halfway. Half-assing it a little bit. But ends up looking good most of the time when I do this. Okay, about half the time. The other half, it looks terrible. I'm going for very subtle on the NM non-metallic metal. I think using the white ink really helps. It's just a really nice, it goes on cleaner than white paint most of the time. So I'm using the Liquitex white, what is it? The Liquitex titanium white acrylic ink. But yes, do that thing. And I hope to see everyone at the Lone Star Throwdown, Malifaux GT. Very excited. It's kind of crazy being that we've turned it into the largest event in North America, largest Malifaux event in North America. Absolutely floored. Yes, come to that thing. It's going to be awesome. Here's the fun thing is, this non-metallic metal on that handle there, it's coming together really fast. I'm normally not great at non-metallic metal, but I feel like I'm kind of hitting this nicely this time. So we still got about, I guess 9 minutes here, so almost done. Not quite there. I think we may actually get this sword finished, which would be nice to kind of wrap this up. The finished sword. And anyone who's coming to the Lone Star Throwdown, I look forward to seeing you there. If you're not able to come this year, well, I hope to see you next year. But tune in to the stream. I'll be posting on social medias and stuff, letting you all know, hey, this is where and when we're streaming each day. Because it's going to be cool. 3 streaming tables. I believe 50 players or 49. I'm not sure right now. I have to go check. I haven't counted. I haven't checked today. If you're thinking about coming, make sure you get I'm still taking registration. So long as there is tickets available up until, we start the first round. But get yourself registered by Friday. If you want to make sure you get the correct size t-shirt. Because you don't want to end up, running around in a extra small crop top. Unless that's your thing, no judgment. But judging by the sizes we already have registered, large, medium, and 2XL seem to be the most popular. But yeah, this is looking awesome. I am digging how this non-metallic metal is looking so far. And now those of you at home, if you hadn't heard, we are, unfortunately, this is my last stream with the Play Weird channel. For all of you who have stuck with us and watched it these last, I guess, 2.5 years, 2.5 or 3, I don't know. How long we've been doing this? I don't remember. about 2 years, more than 2 years. This has been a genuine pleasure, and I always look forward to coming on and streaming with you all. I feel like I have grown as an artist over the last couple of years, and that this has really helped to, challenge myself as an artist to be, try new things and grow and just do it. So it's been a real pleasure. I'm bummed, but, hopefully, I'm hoping that, we can get things reworked and, do it again in the future. If not, I will be hopefully getting more of my own personal streams going back here again soon. I've just been so busy lately that I haven't. But now, hey, I've got a time blocked out every other Wednesday. So maybe I'll stream then. That seems like a good time to stream. It's already on my calendar. So yeah. I'm surprised at how rapidly this is looking non-metallic metalish. Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This has been a wonderful, wonderful time. I guess I got, like 2 minutes here. Oh, no. Let's see how much I can get done on this here. But yeah. Marathine, the living blade. It's kind of awesome. Yeah, this is why I love this white ink. It just goes on really thin. Just, spreads evenly and beautifully. And it really establishes that non-metallic metal look there really fast. But yeah. So let's take a look at this guy. Not quite finished with him, but really, really close. So look at that. That's a really cool model. But yes, thank you, everyone. It has been a pleasure. And I will see you all, I don't know when I'll see you, but, stay weird, everyone. It's been a pleasure.